This is High School Sports Talk, presented by VirginiaPreps.com on ESPN Radio 94.1.
Hope everyone out there is enjoying their Saturday here in August. It's High School Sports Talk, presented by VirginiaPreps.com on ESPN Radio 94.1. I'm Matt Hatfield, and at this time, we're joined by a special guest. He is the head football coach of the Heritage Hurricanes in Newport News, gearing up for year number 9 at the helm. They've made 7 consecutive playoff appearances. We say hello to Coach George Chubs Massenburg. Coach, how's August treating you and the Hurricanes?
How you doing? It's doing pretty well. Back on the grind and getting started for the season. Working hard.
Good to hear. Well, it's hard to believe you're entering year number 9 at the helm. So do you feel like one of the elder statesmen, or is that too hard to do when you see guys like Mike Smith, your former coach at Hampton High, still around, and Danny Dodson at Woodside? Do you feel like one of the elder statesmen, or not quite yet?
Not quite yet. I've been around pretty long now within the district, just happy to and blessed to be in a position I'm in, working with some great guys. But I don't consider myself one of the older guys yet, with Dotson and Coach Smith being the longest tenured. I guess I'm the third longest tenured within the district. I take pride in that and just blessed to have the opportunity every day.
Well, and you've consistently made a program at Heritage High School that has great history going back to when they won the state championship in 2000, but fell in some hard times, 0-10 the year before you got there. Got them to 3 wins that first year, and you've been to the playoffs every season since. And with that in mind, and we had on one of your former assistants who took a head coaching job in Newport News, and Rodney Taylor of Menchville a few weeks back. Give me some of the words of wisdom that you were passed along from Coach Smith and that you would tell young coaches out there as they prepare for their teams and seasons. Granted, you're worried about your guys, and we'll get to those in a second, but what do you share with young coaches and guys from your staff that become head coaches?
I'm just extremely happy for Coach Taylor. He's been at Heritage ever since I've been there. He had the opportunity to become a head coach. He's going to do great over there at Menchville. It's not going to be the same Menchville that it used to be, with Coach Taylor over there. I tell all the young coaches coming into the district, have passion about it. It's a daily grind every day dealing with young people, being responsible for some of the things that they do as well. It's just a daily grind, and you have to have passion. And you have that love the game. Some days you think the kids don't feel like going to practice. You always have to be upbeat and ready for practice and just ready to teach them each and every day.
And let me tell you, folks,
take pride in it.
Yeah, no doubt. If you see Coach Massenburg before a game, he's got that coffee with him. He's ready to go. He's got loads of energy as he gets his Hurricanes ready for battle over there at Todd Stadium or Darling Stadium or wherever Heritage is playing. And I hear this a lot from coaches about culture, changing the culture, and getting them to buy into things. What was the biggest thing you had to do to get Heritage back to where it could compete? What was the thing you had to do to get things turned around over there?
Basically, just lead by example. We're in the weight room, we're working, the coaches are working, just getting those kids motivated every day. Every day that I go into work, going into practice, I don't consider it a job because I've been doing football ever since I've been 6 years old. I haven't missed a year of football since I've been 6. So it's sort of like if I'm not around football, I'll probably get sick, But every day I just go in with a new attitude, trying to learn new things for the kids, teach the kids new things, and just make sure they grasp everything that we're trying to give them each day. We're teachers out there on the field, educators first, and just teaching the kids basically everything that they need to know, not only about football, but just about being great young men.
We're chatting with George Chubs Massenburg, the head football coach of the Heritage Hurricanes, our guest here on ESPN Radio 94.1. It's High School Sports Talk presented by VirginiaPreps.com. You can follow Coach on Twitter at CoachMass5800. And by the way, Heritage opens up the season August the 29th at Warhill. And Coach, looking at the team for this year, beginning on the offensive side of the ball, you graduate some key parts, I believe, in Darius Price, your quarterback, Trevon Faison, your running back. But I imagine you got some good parts waiting in the wings there at those positions and all across the offensive side of the ball. Tell us about them.
Yes, sir. Losing Price and Trevon Faison, that was tough for our offense. However, we have some good young guys who had a lot of play time last year, who've been in the system for a while. We're still considered to be young, but we're mature on the field, so to speak. A lot of guys have learned the system. We have Jaden Wooten-Ellis, who's probably going to be our starting quarterback this year, young kid, 11th grader, just a tremendous athlete. He's going to take over the quarterback role, and our running back, Isaiah Bosman, who saw a lot of time last year when Faison had the ankle injury, along with Michael Simmons. Both of those, Michael Simmons is a 10th grader, and Isaiah Bosman is an 11th grader. So they're going to carry the load in the backfield. We have Roderick Webb, who's back at the receiver. Jalen Gibbons, who's going to do some great things for us as well. Davionte Robinson is going to play a little bit of receiver this year. X is going to play. He's small in stature but big in heart, and he's a game changer. But he's going to be a great asset as well. And also a newcomer that we have, Angel Prop, basketball player, two-sport athlete, He's going to do some great things for us on the field as well. We have high expectations for him. So, like I said, we're young, but we're mature on the field with some guys who have playtime experience.
Well, we know you guys are a balanced attack. They're running the football and passing it. But it sounds like from what you're saying, the wide receiver core could be really intriguing with you. You mentioned Jalen Gibbons, Daviante Robinson, and Roderick Webb. He's a kid that really popped when I watched you guys live in on film a year ago. I think some schools at the next level, I dare say, are sleeping on him. He's got a chance to be a real good one, doesn't he?
Yes, sir. He's just a tremendous athlete. You know, he plays both sides of the ball, a return specialist. He had about 5 returns last year, kicks and punts, and things like that. So he's electric when he gets the ball. And a lot of teams are probably going to key on him, which is going to open it up for Jalen Gibbons, who's probably going to be a sleeper, but he's going to be a good one.
Yeah, and looking at the trenches there, offensive line, defensive line, you're a former lineman, so that's always a key spot. How many guys do you expect to double, and who are some of the names and faces we should know up front?
Malik Simmons, he's coming back for his 3rd year as a starter. He's going into his junior year. That's the younger brother of Nigel Simmons, who's now at Virginia Tech. But Malik Simmons is going to play the offensive guard for us. We have another young kid, 10th grader, Jalen Price. The coaches have nicknamed him Baby Warren Sapp. I asked him who Warren Sapp was. He looked at me kind of puzzled and didn't know who he was the first day of practice. And the next day he came back and said, "Coach, I like that nickname. I think I could be like him." So he said he went back and researched and found out who Warren Sapp was. But he's going to be a key contributor on offense and defense. Also, we have Keyshawn Lynch. He's a transfer. He transferred from Mitchville at the beginning of the middle of the school year last year. So he's going to be starting offensive tackle. Jeremiah Magwood, he's back from last year, as well as Moses, who's going to be playing center. So we have a couple of guys back on the offensive line, which is a positive. Coach Linwood and Coach Wayne McWilliams are doing great jobs with the offensive line. So I always say that's the foundation of the team. We get those guys to believe and work hard. Well, I think we're going to be just fine.
And we'll focus on your defense here in a second with George Chubs Massenburg, head football coach of the Heritage Hurricanes, our guest on ESPN Radio 94.1's High School Sports Talk, presented by VirginiaPreps.com in a moment. But you said the kid didn't know who Warren Sapp is. Man, I'm feeling old, Coach. I had this discussion with a buddy of mine the other day. His kid didn't know my favorite athlete of all time I'm a Malone Stockton guy, so Karl Malone from the Jazz NBA days. But these kids don't know guys that we were watching years ago. I mean, I imagine you and your coaches sit there and go, my goodness, these kids today, something else.
Yes. Now, he knew who Ndamukong Suh was, but he didn't know Warren Sapp. So I was like, hey, I must be getting old.
Hey, that Bucks defense.
I'm almost 40, man. Turned 40 this year, so I'm getting up there.
Hey, that was some bad dudes on that Bucks defense with Sapp and Derek Brooks and John Lynch and that crew. No doubt, that Tampa defense. Well, I imagine the Hurricanes would love to have a defense this year resemble that Tampa Bay Buccaneers team that won a Super Bowl with John Gruden and beat the Oakland Raiders back in, I think it was Super Bowl 36 or whenever it was. But tell us about some of the key characters, D-line, linebackers, secondary we should watch out for.
Some of our offensive linemen are going to be going both ways. Like I said, Price, he's going to be one of our defensive tackles. Keyshawn Lynch, he's going to start at defensive end, and Kyrie Watson-Hubbard. Now, this kid he is electric. He's a fast kid. He's kind of undersized, but he's hard to block. He's going to be playing one of our defensive ends as well, Kyrie Watson-Hubbard. Linebacker is going to be Caleb Martin. Another young kid by DeJuan, he's going to be playing a linebacker. He played JV last year as a 9th grader, so he's going to be playing our inside linebacker. Daviante Robinson, back again, a 3rd-year starter. He started as a freshman going into his 11th grade year. Just had a great offseason, added about 10 pounds, and increased his speed. So that's a plus for us. He kind of puts me in the mind frame of Dimitri Holloway, and I don't want to give him that type of credit yet, but he's going to be a good one. He's going to be a good one. Dowdy Niabatonga, he's back as well, one of our starters from last year. He's going to play our rover. We have Antoine Coles. He played running back for us some last year, as well as strong safety. We're going to play him at a corner with Roderick Webb. And Angel Prock is going to be at the safety, the kid that plays basketball. So we're excited about, some of the pieces that we have on defense. Going to try to do a couple of different things on defense to confuse some people instead of just sitting back, maybe attack a little bit more. But we're just excited about the defensive side of the ball. Coach Ivy Ellison and Coach Butch Orey, he came over from Mitchville. They're just doing a great job with the defense as well as Fabian Davis, our offensive coordinator. He's doing a great job with our defensive backs as well. So we're just excited about, the learning that's going on out there with our guys.
Coach, I've heard the old adage, one game doesn't make a season, one season doesn't make a career. And I look back at last season for you. Had some good moments, some moments I'm sure you'd like to have those games over again, some tight losses to Bethel and Kickintan in particular. But the first game for you is against a Warhill team that is no slouch, made the postseason out of the Bay Rivers District. I think one of only, I dare say, 3 of the 14 schools in Region 4A this year that had a winning record a season ago. But you played them twice, lost to them, start the year, end the year. It's your first game. How much of that is that a tone setter for you in the Peninsula District and hoping to get back to the postseason again?
When we did the schedule for the 2-year cycle with the out-of-district teams, our athletic director said something about, who do we want to play? And, I don't like to lose. And everybody knows that coming from Hampton High, I don't like losing. So I said, why not play Warhill again? They beat us the last 2 times they played us, and I just feel as though, we want to play them again. We want to play them again. They have a new coach over there who I'm very good friends with. So I'm expecting some good things from them over at Warhill. It's going to be a good first opening game for us.
Well, and you won't say it. Us experts, and we get reminded by guys like yourself. That's all the time. I feel like if you get that game, the schedule, it's never easy. Everybody in the Peninsula District has athletes, and there's some talented teams and different schemes you're going to see. But some of the traditional powers on your schedule on the back end with the Woodsides, the Hamptons, the Phoebuses in October or later. So that game, you could be looking at a really nice start. And every game matters now with this new postseason format to get in the playoffs, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Like I say, we're going to go in every game like it's a playoff game. A lot of people are saying that our schedule is kind of, heavy on the back end, as you said as well. But I look at it as, so much parity within the district. You just have to come out and give every opponent your best, and that's the mindset that we're trying to put in with our guys. Give everybody your best effort. Every down. So we just want to continue to get better and look at that first game as a measuring stick for what we need to do to improve.
Well, Ed Young's not here today, but he told me to tell you that you'll be 5-0 going into October if you get that Warhill win. So there you have it. Matt Hatfield didn't say that. It was Ed Young.
I appreciate it, Ed, and I definitely appreciate that.
Hey, well, he'll be repping the Hurricanes, I'm sure, if you get that to make him look right. And then lastly here, give me a thought on the overview of the Peninsula District. We know Coach Smith is over there at Hampton. He's always got some tricks up the sleeve, if you will. Phoebus is coming off a state championship game appearance. Woodside, I think, is going to be a real strong contender, especially moving down from Class 6 to Class 5. Everybody on the south side sort of forgets about them. They look at the Indian Rivers, the Salems, the Nansemond Rivers, the Morys, and rightfully so, some quality teams there with some prospects for the next level. But give me your thought on the Peninsula and how it shakes out.
I always say that the Peninsula, we have some great athletes. The parity that's going on right now within the district is great. I just think that, you never know who's going to win a game on Friday night. So when you come out there, you're excited about those games as fans. However, I do believe that, right now within the district, Woodside, I believe that Woodside has a very, very strong team. They got 2 big transfers with the Natola boys moving over from Minchville, which is going to solidify their defense. But, and I respect Coach Dotson a lot. He's been around for a long time. We're good friends. We always joke around during the off season about lifting weights, making sure the guys are getting in there. So I look at Woodside as being a pretty strong contender, as well as Phoebus and Hampton. Phoebus, Coach Blunt does a great job over there. I have a lot of respect for Coach Blunt as well. He does a great job over there. And I just know that Phoebus each year, they put competitive, they are a competitive team. And Hampton High, they have Coach Smith. That's the X factor there. And I believe that Coach Smith coming back this year after that last year that they didn't do as well as he expected or as anybody expected the Crappers to do, I think that they're going to do well this year. So I just look at the district as having a lot of great talent, a lot of great coaches, new coaches within the district who are going to basically try to give their best each week. I look at Bethel with Coach Incremenius. They're going to do some different things. He did some great things at York when he was at York as the offensive coordinator. So I just know that, they're going to be pretty good as well. So I just look at the district as a very, very competitive district, and they're going to get the best from the Hurricanes each and every Friday.
Yeah, I'm with you. Some neat storylines for us to follow, including over there at Heritage High School in Newport News, where they open up the season August the 29th at Warhill. Well, Coach, thank you so much for the time this morning. Best wishes this year, and we'll talk to you soon, all right?
I appreciate it. Thank you.
You got it. George Chubs Massenburg. Go Canes, as he says here on High School Sports Talk, presented by VirginiaPreps.com on ESPN Radio 94.1. Looking for that 8th consecutive playoff appearance. And he has taken Heritage to the state playoffs before, going back to 2013 when they lost that state semifinal game to a Dinwiddie team that was absolutely loaded and went on to win the championship. So we'll see what's in the cards for the Hurricanes this year in a very interesting Class 4 field where I think people are going to say Lake Taylor's the favorite, but you don't want to sleep on a Heritage. And Ed might be right about that prediction. They might get off to a 5-0 start. He could be onto something. We'll take a timeout. We got more to do here on High School Sports Talk, presented by VirginiaPreps.com. Give us a call at 757-687-9494 on ESPN Radio 94.1.